over matter because there was a homeless person that was walking up on the trail behind me in the dark, and I didn't know what his intentions were or what the vibe was because just never people out here. So I had to just fucking pay attention to my surroundings for a second. So I had to end that live. So I'm restarting it now. Okay, mind over matter. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. I want to talk about what this means, okay? A lot of things go into our body. Food. We have sex with people that have different energies. We feel sad. Things don't work out the way that we want. There's a lot of different things that could happen, but it doesn't matter. The point is, consciousness is everything. Consciousness is everything, meaning that it doesn't matter what your diet is. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. Viktor Frankl. If you guys have read that book about Viktor Frankl, you understand he was in concentration camps and was still able to remain in a great state of being. It's not easy, but it is fucking doable. Understand, you don't need semen in your balls. You don't need to be semen retained. You don't need to be vegan. You don't need to be making a bunch of money. You don't need to have sex. You don't need to have $3 million in the bank account. You don't need to have friends. You don't need to, be popular. You don't need to be in the scene. You don't need to be, you don't need anything to remain in the state. You just say, that's the way it is. I'm in this state. That's the way it is. Doesn't matter if you eat poison. Doesn't matter if they got you and they vaccinated you. Doesn't matter. You hold the frame. No, this is the way it is. This is the way it is. This is the frame. And you always just do the next best thing, okay? The next best thing might be getting a job. The next best thing might be starting a business. The next best thing might be doing this or doing that. It doesn't matter. What matters is you just are in control of your mind, because it's mind over matter at the end of the day. And you get to dictate what is. Nobody can tell you what is. The pastor can't tell you, no, you're going to hell if you do that. They can't tell you that. God can't tell you that. Does God ever come out of the sky and walk up to you and say, if you do this, you're going to hell? No. A human came up and told you that a book that was written by humans told you that you're going to hell. Do you understand? God never comes out of the clouds. Lightning never strikes. You never get struck by lightning. Okay? There's nothing that you can do in this life that you don't have the power to feel not guilty about. How do serial killers kill without feeling guilty? Mind over matter. They don't feel guilty for that shit. Period. They don't. So, mind over matter. You do not have to feel any way that you do not want to feel. The state of being is yours to feel. 99.9% of people that are in the comment sections on YouTube complaining about girls, complaining about money, complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about the government, complaining about... These are people that are choosing to be in hell. They're choosing that state. If the government's shooting everybody up with mRNA, it's not going to kill my vibe. You understand? They could literally put the guns to all of our heads. It wouldn't kill my vibe. I was going to die one day anyways. I don't care. Death is the greatest release. I can't lose. I'm already going to die. Therefore, I already win. So therefore, my state I'm in is I'm always already winning. Okay? That's number one. Number two is most people are happy when they have, or when this, right? Most people are happy when they have a girlfriend, happy when they're having sex, happy when they have money, happy when they have a business going, happy when they have attention, happy when they have... Fuck all that. You could be in the state of being that you want to be in regardless of what you're getting. Because I promise you this, everybody who gains loses. Everybody who gains loses, because what goes up must come down. And everything changes. You see a trajectory going for yourself, and it can change all in one day. Also, the grass is never greener. What some people have What some people have is not worth anything. I want you to understand something. Women go for men who just are born with height, born with good looks, right? Men go for women that are just born with good looks, right? Born with great genetics. Do you understand? They are literally just born with that. So when people come to them to try to have sex with them or try to get their attention, it's all empty validation. You want to be that person? You understand? All of the things that you covet and you think you want are empty. All of them. Empty. Empty, 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 empty. When they do have sex, it just poisons their heart and their soul and their mind. They become addicts. They can't release. They can't let go. They can't detach. They can't focus. They can't lock in. If it doesn't have dopamine, they can't do it. They can't make a business happen. Things fall apart. Everything just turns to dust around them. But people still keep coming to them. And it's the same cycle over again. Girls that are the most vulnerable 18-year-old girls are the ones that get taken advantage of the most by narcissistic men who end up having that girl tattoo his name above her pussy. Literally, right? That's what's happening, okay? And you want to be with that girl. Why? Because she was born with a certain look. And he wants to manipulate her mind and her body and her soul because he thinks he gets some sort of validation because of how she was born, because of how she looks. Okay? Empty, 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 empty. All of it. So, regardless of all that bullshit, see, what that is, it's called the Maya. It's the illusion. That shit is put there just to piss you off. For the weak-minded individuals, basically, life is just set up in a fucked up way, so the weak-minded individuals fall victim to it. They fall victim to depression. They fall victim to being a victim and having excuses. The strong-minded individuals look at life and say, that's funny. Like, oh, that was just a joke, right? Like, whoever created this whole thing was just fucking a comedian, bro. This whole shit is a joke. So, the strong-minded individual says, nah, I get to do whatever the fuck I want. And I get to feel how I want to feel, regardless. Regardless. And guess what? That's when you get the fucking ugly people that are winning, right? You're like, how, what the fuck? This dude's ugly, but he has a girl. Dude, this dude's ugly, right? But he's rich, right? And you're like, wait, what the fuck? How does that happen? I'll give you an example. Jack Doherty. The kid's like 5'7" and ugly, bro. 5'7" and ugly. Hottest girlfriend in the world. Most money any 19-year-old kid has. He has everything that everybody wants, right? But he wasn't born with nothing, right? He wasn't born with nothing. But that's why he was so motivated and dedicated, bro. Motivated and dedicated. Now, yeah, he gets disrespected and humiliated on his streams and stuff like that. So I guess that's the trade-off. But just understand, like, you get to choose. Life is literally what you make it. And you make it out of your state of being. Your state of being imprints your subconscious mind, which literally projects into reality, okay? And I'll tell you this much. Out of pleasure comes pain. Out of pain comes pleasure. What? Let me say it again. Out of pleasure comes pain, and out of pain comes pleasure. Why? Because the universe, right? Basically, at the end of the day, right? You want sex, right? You want it so bad. You'll work really hard to become famous or get money or get your life together or have good game. Then you start getting sex and it ruins your life. Why? Because now you're getting pleasure. Now it's going to give you pain. You're getting too much dopamine. And when you're getting too much dopamine, now you can't focus on business or research. Why? Because there's not enough pain. Out of pain comes motivation. Out of pain comes inspiration. Those two things, boom, there you go. Now you can create something. You can't create something out of getting too much pleasure. So the dudes that are getting laid don't ever really become much, especially because they're losing their life force energy too much. And you go out and you get really good game, and what's going to happen is if you let yourself go and just have sex with all these women, you're just basically saying to the universe, hey, thank you for giving me all this pain in the beginning and making me not have all these women. And so now I'm going to use this pain to just go and get the women and then ruin and then give away all my blessings that you gave me in the first place. You understand? The universe gave you the pain of not winning in the beginning so that you could become something great. But if you just use it to stop at the pussy, like the finish line is the pussy, well, then it's game over. Okay? Then it's game over. Right? So what I recommend is, what you should do is you should go for something greater. Go for something bigger. The money in the pussy is not the greatness. Money in the pussy is not the greatness, okay? And lots of men lived and died around money and pussy. You understand? Lots of men lived and died. That's all they did. That's all they got. That's all they became. They lived and died. Period. That's it. They became no greater than money and pussy. And I promise you, there's more to life. What's more to life than money and pussy? Manifestations, okay? Manifestations do include money and pussy, and money helps you manifest, but it's just a tool. Women and money are just tools, okay? They're tools to be used. What do women do? Women help you manifest. If you have a woman believing in you, she'll help you manifest. That energy will help you manifest. What does money do? It helps you maneuver. It helps you travel. It helps you make things happen. It helps you move people around because people need money to survive. So you give them money to do tasks. You get to make things happen and they get to survive. So what do you do with the money and the women? You manifest. What is manifesting? Manifesting is creating something that was not here before you were born. A new way of looking at things, a new society, a new vision, a new invention. These are the things that will really bring fulfillment to your soul. Changing society towards a better society is all about basically evolution of our soul. That's basically it. The evolution of our soul is the purpose of life. Through the evolution of our soul, we learn the lessons that we came here to learn. Period. Just having pleasure and experiencing pleasure, you're going to have to repeat. You're going to have to reincarnate. You're going to have to come back. You're going to have to learn the same lessons over again. It's basically how it works. All right? So, you seek pleasure. You're a sex addict, a porn addict. You could be a sex addict. You could be a porn addict. You could be a drug addict. You could be a TikTok addict. You could be an anything addict. If you are an addict, that dopamine is going to block your blessings. That's how it works. So basically, validation blocks the women's blessings. You understand? All the validation they're getting on Instagram blocks their blessings. They're not able to focus on anything else. Everything's coming too easy for them. They never had a hard day in their life. So why would they go and do the hard thing, which is researching, working to make something happen? They would never do that because they have the good feelings already on their plate right in front of them, okay? So what you should do is you should shun all of that pleasure. But what about balance, Daniel? What about balance? What about being balanced sometimes, right? What about sometimes having some pleasure? Yeah, no, you can. But you have to be able to let go and detach and disconnect instantly, right? So this is where meditation comes in, okay? Having a good meditation habit on a daily basis is going to work on your ability to let go. This is a muscle. Visualization is a muscle too. So I do two types of meditations. I meditate and I let go, and I meditate and I visualize. That's basically it. I visualize the end goal and I visualize the process, and then I let go. Two types of meditation. Working on that muscle on a daily basis. When you work on that muscle, you will be able to disconnect after sex. You'll be able to disconnect after partying. Because yes, life is about balance. You should have sex. You should party. You should watch TikTok. You should do things just for pleasure. But you need to disconnect after. If you keep chasing, you will lead yourself to ruin. You'll go downward spiral. That's how this works. That's how this whole game works of life, okay? Understand the balance, understand it's key, and understand that it's mind over matter at the end of the day. If you can literally understand that it's mind over matter at the end of the day, you're 100% good. What do I mean by that? I literally mean that if you are in control and you're at the cause, not the effect of your life, then you're not a leaf being blown in the wind, and you will actually have direction. And if you meditate and you have vision, you will know where you're going, and you will be selecting what you experience. You will be selecting the desires of your heart. Life is about desires and fulfillment, okay? To desire is to have, because God, the universe, fulfills all desires. You cannot actually desire if you're too distracted, though. And this is the crazy thing, because people will implant desires in your mind through advertising, through social media, through all of these means. They will put things in your mind that fill that void. What you need to do is you need to go into silence. You need to go into the void. And in the void, you will find your desires. And to desire is to have. Anything you desire in your heart, anything that you think about and you know you want, you will have. Because this is how it works. You know what you have, you align to it, and then you let it go and you have it. It's that simple. All you literally have to do is picture it in your mind, experience it in your mind, therefore you're aligning to it, and then let it go, and it will be a reality, because the universe fulfills all desires, right? And that is what life is about. It's about fulfilling all desires and moving towards the desire of your heart and being at the cause, not the effect. Not a consumer, but a creator. Because if you're a consumer, a leaf in the wind, basically all you will have to do is learn the lessons over again. You're basically just missing the whole point of the show. You're here to literally be a player in the arena. You're not here to just watch other players in the arena. You're not here to be an NPC. Most people, these days don't understand what that means to be an NPC. NPCs are anybody controlling. You need to disconnect. One of the best things that I do to disconnect is I go for a walk. I go for a walk and I do breathing techniques. Breathing techniques and going for a walk are the two things that will immediately cause me to let go of everything. And then from there, I'll be in a perfect state of being to meditate and go deep. I try to meditate for 10 to 15 minutes or longer if I am in a good state and I'm enjoying myself. And I do two things when I meditate. I let go, and then I visualize. I visualize and I let go. And when I'm visualizing, it's just daydreaming, okay? Just like when you were a kid in class trying to escape. And think about it. Why would you always daydream in class? Because in class, it's like prison. They're telling you, this is how you should feel right now. This is what you should be thinking right now. This is what you have to do. You are a slave. And you're like, nope, I'm escaping through my mind. Putting yourself into a different reality, therefore you manifest that different reality. But they have our kids so deep. They shoot them up with the vax, right? They shoot up the kids with the vax and they put them in prison. So they piled them deep into the lower vibration. So it takes longer to manifest. Do you understand? Manifestation takes as long as your vibration is high. I know that's kind of hard to understand, but you can only manifest that which you're at the vibration of. So if you're eating a lot of bad food, if you're stuck in a 9-to-5 job, these type of things will lower your vibration to the point where you're moving further and further away from your dreams and your goals. So sometimes the best thing ever is that you are broke and you don't have a job, because now you have more time to yourself. And what I want you to do is I want you to eat clean, I want you to breathe, and I want you to meditate. And bring your vibration up by imagining, by going inside and feeling the desire fulfilled now. That will put you in the state of being, and you have to nurture that state of being. You have to hold it for a prolonged period of time. So this might mean cutting off friends. This might mean cutting off family members. This might mean avoiding energy and going off being by yourself. Find that energy, find that vibe, find that state of being, find that frequency, and from that, hold it. You're gonna, as long as it takes. Right after this walk, I'm not going to try to fit in my energy with other people's energy. I'm going to inside my heart and say, what is my energy telling me that I desire? What do I desire? Understand, your desire is what life is about. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Nothing else. Life is about experiencing your desires in the now moment through visualization and obtaining fulfillment now, right now, and then watching it manifest. And at the same time, letting go of it. You don't need it. You realize the power was within you. You didn't need it the whole time. You think you thought you needed it. Cool. You manifested it. Now you didn't need it. I manifested my perfect 10 in a relationship. Realized I didn't need it. Let it go. I realized that I didn't need to have 100 girls in my life. I went out and manifested having sex with 100 girls. Then I realized didn't need that in my life. I went out and had $1.5 million. Realized I don't really need that in my life. Let it go. Now, all I'm going to do is basically have a little piece of the pie of everything and just dip my finger in and taste whatever I want whenever I want it. Instead of, oh my God, I need $1 million. Oh my God, I need a girl. Oh my God, I need 5 girls. Oh my God, I need sex. Oh my God. No, it's just, that shit's available to me. I can experience it whenever I want. It's no big deal. In my mind, when I'm going for a walk, when I'm visualizing, I'm just as happy, I'm just as fulfilled as if when that girl is sucking my dick. Do you understand? That is true power. When you can just disconnect and be happy. Everybody else, what do? They disconnect and they're depressed and they try to go swiping on Instagram and they get lost on it. Those people are sad, only depressed. Do you understand? People are stuck. Those people, let's do the same. I'm out. Peace.